We check the sound.
Yep.
Welcome in, guys. Hello, hello. How are you?
Yep. Perfect.
How's your weekend? Angela, hello. How are you? Christian! Welcome in, guys. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. No, thank y'all for being here. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. I was so proud to see you on live today. Sorry, adjusting colors here. We're just gonna go with pink is not my color. I love your setup. It looks so good. Welcome in, you guys. How's everybody's weekend? Farm clean. Shelly, hello. Hello, hello. Yes, I love JT's idea. That was great. Scott! Hi, Scott. How are you? I'm good. I'm finally off work. I worked all weekend. I got 2 days off. And I got a trip coming up this week. Megan! Hello, beautiful. I love your face. Thank you for the heart me and the popular. 2 days to relax. Yes. Hello, my friend. Welcome in, you guys. I guess I should send this out to the people that asked me to. Jeremy, will you send it out to the ones that have asked?
I sent it to the Discord too.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Moog. What is Moog? Is that her nickname? Moog? Jacob! Welcome in, Jacob. Thanks for the rose. Roses. I appreciate it. Jacob, how's your weekend been? I feel like we've talked, but we haven't talked like we normally do. He's always called her that. Maybe I just don't pay attention. Daddy firefighter. I love that so much better than Daddy cop. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Work has been really busy and I've been working on a training manual, so it's been rather exhausting. Jeremy, thanks for sharing. Hey, Papa. Taylor, welcome in. Spent most of last week sick, migraines causing my blood pressure to be extremely high. Oh goodness, that's really frustrating. I'm so sorry. Megan, thank you so much for the heart me. Charlotte! Hello, beautiful. I'm sorry you haven't been feeling well. Are you prone to headaches? Or is this just, you've been sick? Kidney stones. Oh gosh, that's terrible. Hey, thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, you guys, this is our Sunday check-in. We'll check in first. Some of you have already told me how you're doing. Some of you have not, and then we'll get started. Guess what, everyone, is not good news. You had a panic attack. I'm so sorry. Taylor, what's up? Shell, I'm sorry. Migraine since you were 17. I have two. Mine's mainly hormonal, but magnesium is a really big thing for me when it comes to headaches. Wait, who lost whose streak on what? We still have ours.
Now on Snapchat.
Oop! Shoulders and goes up into the head. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's not good. Do you have elevated potassium? Magnesium might help bring that down. I'm not sure. Oh, Taylor, no. I'm so sorry. Well, I hope you're resting and taking care of yourself. Thank you for the heart, me. Hospital for a few hours. Apparently it was bad last night, and you just remember waking. Ugh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. You guys, lots going on here. That adds to everything else, I'm sure. Oh, well, tonight we're talking about, again, the invisible emotional load that we carry quietly because no one likes to talk about it. No one likes to talk about what they're dealing with. We might talk about a couple things here and there, but we don't allude to everything going on. But most of us are carrying more than what people see, whether it's trauma, guilt, grief, financial stress, fear of failure, just exhaustion, people pleasing. Do I have any people pleasers here? I know of at least two. Me being one of them.
Me too.
People pleasers. Why is it that we feel the need to please everybody else? Guilty. Why do we feel the need to please everyone else at our own cost? Anyone? It's such a struggle to be a people pleaser. Star, thank you so much for the heart, me. It makes us feel better to please other people. What if we're doing too much to the point where it's still not pleasing them and we're sacrificing our own mental? Which eventually, you guys, you know why I preach mental health? If our mental health is not stable and we're not taking care of up here, it will physically wear on your body. It can literally, it takes a toll. I have to be careful what I say, I'm sorry. Our mental health will take a toll on our physical health. Girl, you're fine. Troy! Matt. Hey, Matt. Y'all welcome in. We're just getting started. Again, tonight we're talking about the invisible emotional load that we carry. Whether it's financial, trauma, guilt, fear of failure, grief, people pleasing. I feel like people pleasing is so heavy for a lot of us. But when was the last time someone asked you how you are doing and you actually told them the truth? I have a leg up on you guys with this one. But when was the last time someone asked you how you were doing and you actually told the truth? Not saying I'm okay. Because every single one of us, if I were to ask you, how are you doing? And you said, okay, is not fulfilling, right? You have something going on that you would like to share. You say you're okay or you're fine. I think we all do that at some point. Why? Why do we say we're fine? You say you're alive. That's my response too sometimes is, how are you doing? Well, I'm alive. Or I walk into work. How are you doing? Well, I'm here, right? Some of us are drowning with silence, in silence, with a smile on our faces. Why? Fine is an armor we wear when we're afraid of being a burden to other people. I know someone in the chat just said that, right? I'm fine. What is your definition of fine? There's absolutely nothing going on in your life? I don't believe that. If there is one person here that can tell me they don't have something that they're stressing about at this very moment, I applaud you. That is huge. Fine means I'm alive, I'm here, I'm just making it through the day. Yeah, exactly. I'm fine is an armor, not for us, but protecting other people, right? We're trying to, hey, Levi, welcome in. I'm good. You don't want to be a bother to anyone with your problems, right? No one wants to be a bother to somebody else. But how nice it would be to pull that armor off and say, I'm not okay. Actually, thank you so much for asking. I have something going on. Are you available to listen? Are you available to take this on? Perhaps it's a fear of being misunderstood or dismissed or weak when we admit that we're not okay. Megan, thank you so much. That, and it feels like some people just don't care and they want to ask so they can check it off their list. Okay, I get that. We talked about this last week about talking about it, right? We're going to talk about it. We have to find the people that can talk about it or carry it with us. And if they're not willing to sit with us or carry it, we have to find someone else. Star, thank you so much. I feel if I told the honest truth, I wouldn't be able to survive the pain and would be made fun of. So again, yeah, a fear of being misunderstood or made fun of. Perhaps we're trusting the wrong people, right? It sucks. We have to find those people. You have your wife and you tell her everything. When it comes to others, it's hard for you to open up. And that's okay. I am definitely not asking you to open up to everybody. It's not everybody's business to know. And there are levels of, hey, people asking, are you okay? How are you doing? If someone took the time out of their day to send you a text and say, how are you doing? How's your day? Perhaps they were thinking about you and they really mean it. If someone took the time out of their day to do that. Now, if it's just a passerby and they're walking by, hey, how's it going? I'm I, I'm great. How are you? And then we keep walking. That's normal. But if someone took the time out of their day to call you, to send a text message, to check on you, perhaps that's your sign to say, I'm not okay. Thanks for asking. Do you have time to hear what's going on? Hold on. Going through. I feel like it's so many people in my life think I'm this perfect, happy go lucky person. Because that's how we portray ourselves, right? We want to be go lucky and we want to be happy and we want to be the positive, but we don't always have to be that. We're hurting ourselves by not opening up when we have the opportunity to open up to one another, right? To relate to one another. Fight or flight 24/7. Oh, girl, I've lived my entire life in fight or flight and it is awful. But I'm working just as much. Y'all, these talks with you guys have caused so much growth with me that this last week when someone asked me how am I doing, for the first time ever, besides Jeremy, he hears about it all the time, I was able to say, actually, this is what's going on. This is what's truly going on. And they they could relate to some of it. They were able to offer support and comfort. Whoa, I didn't have to carry that by myself. It's a huge relief to feel that. And that's what I want for every single one of you guys, is to be able to get that off your chest and to talk about it. In the middle of divorce, ex is making it hell and turning my daughter against my family. Oh, Roscoe, that is so rough. I am so sorry. That is so heavy to carry. And I absolutely hate that for you. Just keep strong, keep loving. Just, I'm never going to have the right words to say because every situation is different, but just keep showing up. Keep the positive in your mouth. Don't jump to the negative. Let her hear all the positive. One day when she is older, she will thank you for staying positive. Kayla, this last week has been the hardest week of your life. I am so sorry. Tommy, welcome in. Christian, I'm very proud of you, actually. You're making leaps and bounds, and I'm really proud of you. I feel like I've given everything I have, and it just keep getting kicked or punished, and it makes me afraid. That's a really hard place to be, and I've been there. I really have. I've been there, and all I can say is just keep positive. Quit doing things for other people if it's draining you and start protecting yourself. Got out of your comfort zone this weekend. Hold on, working on it. Sorry, guys. The chat's going. Got out of your comfort zone this weekend. Actually told people what was going on. I'm so proud of you. Sarah, you wrote it all on a plate and you smashed it. I love that. That's really big for you, and I know that. You put it out there for other people to sit with you on that, and I'm so freaking proud of you. Gonna need all the support the next month. Yes, I'm here for it. That's what we're here for. It's so easy and natural to be kind to others, but for whatever reason, we forget to be kind. Right? To ourselves? Yeah. So if you wouldn't say it to a stranger walking past you, don't say it to yourself. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, your significant other. Don't say it to yourself. A hard month to go through. It's a protection mechanism, Megan, for sure. Protecting your peace and not sharing it. Lost so much family during August. It's a hard month to go to. Well, Christian, here we are. We are your people for the month of August. You know where to find us. That's going to be a hard month to get through, but I have faith that you have many friends this year to make it through August with you. So, another bullet point in this topic is to share personal moments where you lied with a smile. We all just did that, right? When someone asked you were okay, but you were in the darkest place that you've ever been, but you looked at them and you smiled and you're like, I'm fine. Who are we trying to convince? Are we trying to convince ourselves that we're fine? Lying to ourselves is going to hurt us worse. Now, does everyone, again, like I said, not everybody deserves to know everything that's going on in your life. I'm a pretty open book for a lot of you. I'm a very open book. I talk about a lot of things. I overshare. However, I do share certain things privately that other people don't know, and that's okay. But if I feel like I can relate to someone that's struggling, I will share my private moments a little bit more. You say it so that they stop asking, right? But here's the thing though. If we don't talk about it and we don't find our people to talk about it and we don't get it out, hey, and our people, there is nothing wrong with a psychiatrist, hello friend. There's nothing wrong with a therapist or a psychiatrist. In fact, those are great people to talk to. If you don't have somebody in your corner, those are good people. Those are professionals. They know how to walk you through certain things. But you can emotional burnout if we are not talking about it. Melody, welcome in. Dutchman, hello. Long time no see, my friend. It's hard to admit that we're not okay. But when we are reached that point of comfort with someone, whether it's a therapist or a friend or a significant other, and we can let that off our chest, it prevents us from emotional burnout. But burying it deeper is going to cause us to burn out, so that the next thing that comes is just going to bury us deeper and deeper. So if we're able to get that off of our chest as we go, the next thing to come at us, life in general, isn't going to bury us deeper into that dark hole. Irritability is a huge sign of suppressed emotions. Irritability, numbness, chronic fatigue. Wow, I can't talk. Sorry, guys. Chronic fatigue, zoning out, mindlessly scrolling through TikTok, wanting to isolate ourselves. These are all things of emotional burnout. And if we're there, it's time to start letting those things out. But like I said, we bury those. Our mental is going to affect our physical. It is going to hurt our body. Ask me how I know. I've been in fight or flight. If you weren't doing that, you would have never found me. Well, I'm glad you found me, and I'm glad you're here. Mindlessly scrolling can bring you to a topic that we probably all need to hear and discuss, right? I don't know, but I feel like everybody needs to talk about this. We need to talk about emotions. We need to talk about it's okay to say you're not okay. Why? Because I don't think that there's one person that doesn't have something going on in their life that is bothering them, stressing them out. What is a burnout red flag for you? What is your sign of burnout for you? Mine is fatigue. Do you know your physical burnout? Stress can affect your heart. It can. Anxiety attacks. Yep. You know what's really cool is we have, anyone know what a vagus nerve is? Does anyone know? Anyone familiar with that? Chris, welcome in. Is anyone familiar with the vagus nerve? You go very catonic. So I go, if I am stressed out to the point where I can't turn my mind off, I immediately just want to go to sleep. I don't want to talk about it. But here we are talking about it. I want to sleep. I want to sleep it off. Do I actually sleep it off? No. I just feel better rested to deal with my stress, right? As a chiropractor assistant, you know. Okay, cool. So, breathing is a way to release stress. I know, it sounds crazy. But when we're stressed, our breathing tends to shorten. Hey, thanks for the heart me. I appreciate it. Misty, welcome in. When we're stressed, we tend to breathe more shallow breaths. Our body is tense. This is the physical aspect of our mental health, not taking care of it. That's why in the middle of a panic attack, they tell you to focus on breathing. And when they say that, they're wanting a deep breath that hits that vagal nerve. That is like an immediate response. Well, I've been in fight or flight mode for a very long time, since childhood, working to get out of that. But it is crazy the amount of difference that a very deep breath can bring to relaxing you physically. Maybe not mentally, but physically. Relaxing you, taking deep breaths. And that's why a lot of times they tell children or other people that are having panic attacks or anxiety attacks to take deep breaths and just to count back and to calm your mind. Hey, thanks for the shares. I appreciate it. But it's a vagal nerve. It's actually a physical response that helps the mental. Anyone else have a burnout red flag? Hey, thanks for the follow, Sam. Some are panic attacks, sleep. Anyone just get really irritable that everything around you is just getting on your nerves and you're done? You just can't deal with it anymore? Anyone else feel like they need to throw back a couple drinks to make it stop? All the above, right? Some of us are just cursed with all of it. Yeah. Okay. So how many times have I said we're not going to numb it? We're not going to numb it, right? That is the worst thing for us to do when we're going through something, is to numb those feelings. We need to feel it. We need to talk about it. We can't medicate it. Now, if we're dealing with mental disorders or depression, there's nothing wrong with medication. Prescribed medication. But recreational numbing, we're not going to do it. Hey, there are actually other kinds of addictions that provide numbing. There's money addictions, there's shopping addictions, there's all kinds of different addictions that can lead to it. Been burned out for the past 5 years, started working 7 days a week to not feel anything. Oof, there's one right there. Staying busy so that we don't have to feel. It's going to physically wear on you. It's not good. I've been there. I understand. Staying busy so our minds are on something else and not feeling with it. Welcome in, girl. How are you? That's another one that we do to numb ourselves, is just to stay busy. And I am 100% guilty of that. I really am. I'm like I can reach total opposite. I'll stay busy to keep my mind off of it. Or I'm going to go to sleep to try and keep my mind off of it. It's whatever my physical, it's like a highs and lows for me. Welcome to Jacob's life story. Jacob, you and I are so much alike. It's mind-boggling to me. Right? But sometimes we need to slow ourselves down. We need to slow ourselves down so that we can feel through and walk through those emotions and not numb them. Because again, we're going to end up like an exploding can. Take a soda bottle, shake it up, and we're about to explode. Instead, quit shaking the bottle, set it down, give it time, sit with it. Sit with those emotions. Quit shaking those emotions up. Quit ignoring. We're going to sit down and we're going to sit with it. And we're going to slowly unscrew that top. And we're going to feel all those emotions. Let them out. Talk with somebody. Coping gets you through the day. Healing creates space to actually breathe again. Do I need to say that again? Our coping mechanisms, whatever they might be, I just labeled off a bunch. You know your own coping mechanism, right? Coping mechanism gets you through the day. Healing creates space to actually breathe again. So we can cope and get through the day for all we want, but we're going to have more things in life thrown at us. And if we don't go through the motions of healing, the next thing thrown at us could be our final straw. Right? Anyone else felt like they just had that final straw before? And it was because I was just coping, I was just getting by instead of actually healing. Survival mode. It's a terrible place to be. Finley, hello. I'm good. How are you? I feel like everyone's hand should be up. We've had that final straw before. We've been there. For every single one of you that raised your hand that you've been at that final straw, you're still here. You're still fighting. And I am so freaking proud of you. If you need to hear it again, you've had your final straw, but you kept pushing and you kept fighting and you're still here. And I am so thankful you're still here. So now we're going to go through and learn how to heal, right? Instead of cope. JK! Welcome in, beautiful. How are you? Coping looks like binge watching. Thanks for the pasta salad. Oh, antipasto salad. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe they put that on here. Hello, beautiful. So coping looks like binge watching, overworking, overeating, overspending, isolating, lashing out. What is your coping? I think I just like named off all of mine. Binge eating and then starving myself. It's gross. That's a high school habit that I've dealt with. Overworking. Overspending. Okay, that's one that I haven't done, but I know a lot of people that do that. It makes you feel good, right? Money can buy happiness until it can't anymore. Isolate yourself. Why do we do that? Why do we isolate ourselves? It's such a self-punishment. Jacob, you're here. You don't need to do it. We isolate ourselves because we don't want to be a burden to anyone else, but all we do is punish ourselves. Because why? We're isolating, telling us we don't deserve the support, we don't deserve the help, but you're willing to go help somebody else, right? You're willing to put your own life on hold to go help someone else, but you're not willing to help yourself to heal. Hey, welcome in. Thanks so much for the heart me. How's it going, my friend? Your body says you do. But do you? Your body says you do? And Megan, that might be your coping. Your coping might be to help others to the point where you're drowning yourself. Right? So the difference in what healing might look like is processing. Therapy, community, drawing boundaries. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, you do everything for everyone else, but not for yourself, and you care too much. It's so easy to do that, and it's a coping mechanism for us. We'll be drowning in our own problems. Hey, thank you so much for the heart me. Drowning in our own problems, but it's so much easier to help other people with their problems, right? Because they're not our problems. We can put ours aside, which sometimes that's okay. Sometimes our problems may seem less important than what's actually at stake for our friends right now, and that's okay. But when you get to the point that you're doing that constantly and you're not helping yourself, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Oh, Megan, you deserve the same amount of love that you outpour to others. Every single one of you. You deserve the amount of effort and love that you pour into other people. Don't let your brain lie to you. Do not let the devil tell you you do not deserve love, support, affection. That is such a lie. You feel like everyone has more value than yourself. Thanks. Thanks, Mariah. Or is it Maria? I'm sorry. Is it Maria? Everyone else has more value than yourself. That's not true. You're a human. You have just as much value as any other human. Now, are you valuing other people more than yourself? Probably, especially if you're not giving yourself the space to heal. What is something you could do to cope that you wish could become healing for you? It's so easy to give out your heart to others that you forget to save some for yourself. Hold on. I want to touch on this before, and then we'll go back to my question I asked. So, what if you sharing your heart and your problems and your struggles help save somebody else? What if you sharing your struggles ends up helping someone else because they didn't have the strength to say, I'm struggling with this. I have these same problems. I feel so alone. And by them asking you if you're okay, is actually in hopes that you would turn back around and ask them if they're truly okay. But they're going to not admit it if you say, I'm fine. What if you said, well, this is what's going on? And you opened up to them and they feel the same comfort all of a sudden that they open up to you and you can be there for them. You've been hurt so many times over and over. You love hard and you show so many emotions. You deserve to be loved just as strongly as you love yourself. The gem, right, Christian? Hey, the gem can be a good coping mechanism that can also be healing. However, too much of something can always be hurtful, right? Because if you're taking the gym super serious, but you're not taking your mental health serious, or your diet serious, or your sleep, or other things in life, it's going to eventually hurt you, right? But I always feel so much better when I'm working out. I think that's a lot for people. You never knew a day in your life where you felt safe or happy, just meh, and just kept going. That's really hard, and I'm sorry. I had a rough childhood when it came to feeling safe and happy, and through my adulthood too. This is new for me, and I don't always feel happy, you guys. I'm not always someone that doesn't have struggles. I struggle. Life. Hey, thanks for the follow. How do you love yourself when you never have before? That's a hard one. That's such a hard one because I understand this self denial of love. I understand that struggle. I understand being hard on ourselves. I am extremely hard on myself when it comes to almost everything I do. I'm a perfectionist. Y'all, coming on live and talking to you guys about this is some of the hardest things I do because I make lists. I put ideas down and I want to be perfect. I want to have all the perfect words to say to you, but words are hard for me and it'll never happen. I'm also dyslexic, so it doesn't matter how many times I write something down. I'm going to read it wrong and hope that y'all don't catch it. This is hard for me. I'm a perfectionist. I went back and listened to my lives and I'm like, God, you sound like an idiot, Paige. But the reason I do this is in hopes that y'all hear me say, I'm struggling, me too, so that y'all feel comfortable enough to come to me. I had someone that I checked on earlier this week that they shared what was going on in their life, and they told me that they felt comfortable telling me that because I'm a huge mental health supporter. That's where I want to be. I want to be that person that can sit with you and hear you. I'm not perfect. I struggle. I want to be perfect in every single way. The gym is your time to reflect, grow internally through physically, all while letting out the darkness. Yes. And that is where, that is the perfect example of using the gem for physical and mental health. Releasing that tension is both physically healing and mentally healing. It really can be. You feel bad because you feel like you're burdening people or hurting them. I get that. Megan, did you feel like a burden as a child? I'm curious if any of y'all felt like y'all were a burden as a child. I do. I do. I'm going to touch on that. I do. Journaling, I think, is huge. This day and age, people are not used to it. Some showing emotions and being caring, and it scares them away. Honestly, I think what a lot of it is people see other people showing emotions and they feel comfortable, but they're afraid to do it themselves. And it's almost like a self-protection of, I can't be that vulnerable with this person. And I hate that because everyone deserves to be vulnerable with somebody. And I often wonder if that's like a self-defense mechanism for them, is someone else is being vulnerable with them, but they're not ready for that and it's too much. Emotions are real, you guys. They can be real. We all have them. We all have struggles. Mm. Daily warrior meditation is key for you. That's awesome. You were told by your mother that you were a burden to her life. Oh my gosh. I will never understand parents that make their children feel like burdens. Because after feeling like that, and then having my own children, I constantly worry about making my children feel like they're a burden to me because I get anxious really easily. I work full time. I used to work night shift, and I never wanted my children to feel like they were bothering me. And there have been a couple times where my children have come to me and, Mom, am I bothering you? No, I'm sorry. Mommy's just stressed. It's not that you're bothering me. That I shouldn't have responded. And it brings me back down to earth. But I could never imagine my children feeling constantly like they're a burden. What? I hate that for you. Always had and still do. That's absolutely terrible. Whitney, thank you so much for the heart me. I'm sorry, I missed that. Your brother was everything. So I am the oldest of 8 children. I was responsible for everything. I cooked, cleaned, I had all the chores. I homeschooled. I worked a full-time job by the time I was 13, but somehow still had all these chores at home that I had to get done in order to go do everything else. I could never do anything right. It didn't matter. That's how I felt, at least. Um, I would do a chore and then it wasn't good enough, so I would have to do it again. It was just a constant feeling of like I'm not good enough. So I totally understand that. And then yeah, I had siblings that could do no wrong. So I get it. That's a terrible way, but I want you to know that you are not a burden to anyone here, and you're always welcome to be open and honest with your struggles because we are here for you and you matter. You are not alone in these struggles. Peyton with the heartbeat, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm behind. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for the heartbeat. Hello, sweet baby. Hi. Hello. How are you? You were the youngest of 5 and no one in your family wanted anything to do with you. I'm sorry. That's really heavy. But you know what? We're going to heal from this. We are going to find people. Actually, just kidding. You have people here. You don't have to find them anymore. You matter to us. We are here for you. I'm sorry. I am so sorry that you were treated that way as a child and that you feel like you don't matter to them. But you have new family now. And you matter. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it. Yes, it does. And I learned that. And I came to a head with that this last year, actually. Last couple years. Healing our inner child is the first thing that we have to do. And often, it probably is going to take professional help. But there are books out there. Y'all, I meant to mention a book last week. If you have not read Let Them, you need to read it. For all those people pleasers out there, read the book Let Them. I think it's Mel. I can't remember her name. Save a Warrior Saved My Life. I need to do more research on this. Mel Robbins. Let Them by Mel Robbins. Write it down, you guys. I listened to it book on tape, and she does her own Audible and reads it out loud and adds to it. It is fantastic. Communicating with your younger self is session. Oh, yes. Healing our inner child is the first thing that we have to do in order to deal with the rest of it, because adult problems suck. They do. But healing that inner child to then reach to our adult problems gives us the strength to deal with our adult issues, right? Because a lot of times how we're dealing with our adult struggles and issues is probably the coping mechanism that we developed as a child, which is people pleasing, coping, keeping to ourselves, shutting down. SaveAwarrior.com. .org. Okay. Anyone see this? SaveAwarrior.org. It would not let me pin it. Oh, because it's a website. SaveAwarrior.org. Okay. I'm keeping that in my mental. Telling myself I see you and I hear you. Yes. There are often times where I come across emotions that are from my children or just things that I've gone through. And I have to pause and freeze in those emotions and go, I'm actually feeling these emotions. It's bizarre to me. Because I had shut off emotions for so many years. Oh my gosh, those are beautiful. Thank you so much. I had shut off emotions for so many years, you guys, as a protection mechanism for myself as a child and a teen and actually an adult. Through my first marriage, I had shut off all of my emotions. They were very extreme. I was one of those that prided myself in having never cried. I never cried for anything. And in the last couple years, I have cried so much. And I've let myself cry. I used to. If I started crying, it was ugly. I would get pissed that I was crying and I would cry even more. And then I would start hating on myself. Like, why are you crying? This is ridiculous. You're so weak. I'd tear myself down for crying. You guys, crying is our body's way of releasing emotions. That's why we cry when we're happy. We cry when we're sad. Crying doesn't mean that we're weak. Hold on, got a puzzle piece. Stand by, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It took a lot. I have been a medical dispatcher for 15 years. I was an EMT as well. I've seen things, I've heard things, I've dealt with things, other people's things, alongside my own personal trauma. And for the longest time, I was going to shove it down. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to do anything with it. If I shoved it down and I ignored it, it would go away, right? Out of sight, out of mind. It's out of sight, out of mind until something else triggers it. I hate that word, but it's true. It's out of sight, out of mind when we turn it off, cope with it, deal with it, don't heal from it until something else triggers that emotion. And because we've suppressed it for so long, that it's coming back in full force. And then how are we going to handle what's being thrown at us? If we cope instead of heal, it's going to come back in full force. Mentally and physically, you guys. We're coming up in October, a year of me ignoring my own pain because I was being a baby about what I thought was a kidney stone. I've ignored pain for a long time because of, I don't know, whatever. Turns out, the ER doctor when I got there told me if I had waited 30 more minutes, I would have been dead. It took 5 other grown adults to say, this is not normal, this is not okay, you're going to the hospital. For me to say, okay, bestie, I love you. For me to go to the hospital. And to find out that I had multiple pulmonary embolisms. I had had an infarction, which means complete cutoff blood flow to my lung. So my lung was not getting any air. I ignored that pain because that was part of my just shutting off emotions, right? Oh, thank you, Christian. An inspiration. If I could be one inspiration to anyone, that's what I'm here for. I want to encourage. I like the word encourage, not inspire, but I guess it's the same. I don't know. I want to encourage you guys to deep dive into your emotions. Feel those emotions. Breath work, movement, prayer, talking to somebody you trust. We're not meant to hold everything in alone. I don't know why we believe we have to. Retired Leo, law enforcement for 25 years. You've tried everything. Wow. Thank you for your service of 25 years, man. You've put in a lot of work. Cried over good things and bad things, the past that you've experienced. Yes, crying is such a great emotional release if we let ourselves do it. Focused on the root cause, which is healing your inner child. Man, that is such an encouragement to hear. I'm sorry, I don't know your actual name, but I'll just thin line. Focusing on the root cause, healing the root cause. Yeah, that takes a lot of deep diving in, right? This is our mental health check-in, Kennedy. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. We're talking, we're chatting. Letting go of the weight safely. I want you to try this week journaling one truth that you've never said out loud to anyone. I want you to write down one truth that you have never said out loud. Write it all down. And then I want you to light it on fire and burn it. I don't care what it is. Something that you have. Hey, get some sleep. Thank you so much for stopping by. It really means a lot that you came and shared time with me. I really appreciate it. Journaling it. But this week, I want you to write down one truth about yourself that you have never said out loud. And I want you to burn it. Warrior meditation is a game changer. Morning and evening, 2 times a day. Definitely going to look that up. Autumn, what's up? Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Hey, I really appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. Okay, so does everyone have that? Eye opener, breaking your neck and almost lost your life. Look, almost dying is an eye opener. That's what I experienced last October. It's an eye opener. It makes you realize time is short, time is precious, your life, taking care of yourself matters, right? Why does it take such a serious event happening for us to realize that? So for those of you that are in here that haven't had something like that happen, take it from those of us who have. Also, another challenge for this week, after you have done journaling something that you have never said out loud and lighting fire to it, I want you to pick one boundary. One of my friends in the chat was already told what their boundary was. I don't know if they listened to me or not, but pick one boundary this week that protects your own peace. Right, Jacob? Tomorrow is not promised. So our worries are today, and that should be our focus. But I want you to pick one boundary this week that protects your own peace. Whether that is like my other friends that I told they had to put their phone on Do Not Disturb at a very specific time till the following morning when they have to wake up for their alarm. Their phone is on Do Not Disturb because we are protecting their peace and their sleep, which also helps our mental. You guys, if you're not sleeping, it's going to wreck your mental space. If you are not resting, it is going to wreck your mental space. If that is a boundary you need to develop, maybe not with somebody, but with something you're doing, you've got to do it. If a boundary right now needs to be getting off TikTok for a week to have some space, mental space, oops, see you next Sunday. But really, find a boundary that protects your peace and do it. Whether that's cutting off somebody that's been, Or not necessarily cutting off guys. I don't mean being ugly and cutting them off, but maybe drawing a boundary of some space between the two of you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Butterfly bouquet. I don't think I've ever seen that. I love that. Thank you. But writing things, not just journaling this one challenge that I gave you, but writing things down and then reading them, speaking them out loud, is you writing it down and acknowledging it, right? Saying things out loud, acknowledging how you feel about something or something you're dealing with. Write it down and read it out loud. Sam! Hello, beautiful. How are you? No, I appreciate you. You guys, I appreciate every single one of you because in case you haven't gotten, the reason I do this is because I'm healing through this. I'm learning, and like I said, I may not always have the right words to say to you guys, but what I can do is I can sit here with you. I can hold this space with you. I can be an ear, a listening ear. I'm not perfect. I haven't always done everything perfect. But something I am good at is being a listening ear. I have yours still here in my wrist so I can read it anytime I need it. I love that. I am not perfect by any means, but I am here for you. I'm here to sit with you. I'm here to talk about anything you want to talk about. Like I said, if any of you guys need the address to talk to me, or if you want to tell your story in private to where I just read it aloud on my next live and everyone adds to what they want to say to it and I don't identify you, I'll send you the address that you need to send it to. I eventually want to get to the point of a podcast. I'm not there yet, you guys. My mind is not organized enough. I'm trying to get there. I don't feel like I'm good enough for a podcast, but I really want to do it. Nobody is perfect. We learn from each other and experiences support each other. We are not alone. Thank you for that, Dutchman. Yes, yes, nobody is perfect. We all have our own individual gifts, and that's why I love this community, is because we all can learn from each other. Thinline popped in and gave us a website and gave us a bunch of different tools, and I love that. He's on his own healing journey. We all are. We're all on our journey of dealing with certain things. The podcast can be called The Beautiful People. The Beautiful People, The Beautiful People. Okay, I'm not a singer, so I shouldn't try that, but anyway. We can't do everything. But as a community, it takes a village, right? It takes a village. We're not just talking about it takes a village to raise kids. It takes a village of all different kinds of knowledge. And support. Like I said last week, there's all different kinds of friends. There's friends that are just present, right? They're really good at being present. They may not have experienced what you experienced, or there may not be a lot of things that they can do, but what they can be is present for you. They show up at every party or every dinner, or as much as they possibly can. They're at your front doorstep. Or vice versa. They go to dinner with you. They go to coffee with you. Whatever that might be. I understand life is super busy. Maybe they're just present through text message. Hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope you're doing all right. Then we have other friends that are really good at giving advice because they've been through the same things we've been through. That's another kind of friend. There's all different kinds of levels of friends, and we need to make sure that we're not overextending our expectations onto our friends, that it's causing us to be bitter towards certain people because they're not meeting those expectations. There are all different kinds. Don't put certain expectations on certain people that may not be able to follow through with our own expectations. And sometimes we expect ourselves out of other people when they can't meet those expectations, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they're a bad friend, right? Now, if we're doing so much for them and they're not doing anything back, perhaps it's time to draw that boundary of we're no longer going to put ourselves out there for them as much as we are. But hear me out, guys. There's such a fine line there because I've been in the position where I needed all the support I could possibly get because of the struggles of I was taking care of my father-in-law on hospice. I was taking care of my mother-in-law on hospice. I ended up being really sick. There were so many things going on in my life for that one specific time that there was absolutely nothing else I could do for anyone else. I was so physically and mentally drained from the things I was going through. And there's been a couple times in my life that I've been in that position that I couldn't do anything else for someone else. But I still had friends showing up for me. I didn't expect it. That's what was so comforting for me is I wasn't expecting anything out of anyone. I was just trying to get by. But the amount of love that was poured out to me, I could never repay any of those friends that showed up for me. But that's not why we do things, right? But if we're give, and they're not giving back in any sense, and they're expecting it, and we're giving, and we're giving, and we're giving, and it's to the point of hurting ourselves, putting ourselves in a slope, that's a really quick slope to go down. So we have to be careful with that. You're a giver and you don't give much back. I understand. Some people are just made to love harder than others. Perhaps it's because we've been shown how to love or shown how not to love that we don't want anyone else to feel the way we feel. I'm sure there's all different kinds of reasons for how we do things, but you love how you want to be loved. That's so hard sometimes, isn't it? We're the love to everyone else that we want to feel ourselves. We're the joy to everyone else that deep down inside we want to be ourselves. That's so hard. But if we can get past the desire of trying to find someone to meet those needs and just continue to meet our own needs while extending ourselves to others, not hyperextending, but just extending ourselves to others, perhaps we can find comfort and healing by giving it to ourselves as much as we give to other people instead of looking for someone else to give us what we need. One day someone will give back and it will feel so amazing. Bingo. Don't ever turn it off because you're not receiving it. Just draw a boundary. But if we can't love ourselves and develop our own self-respect and our own boundaries, we're going to be really hard to love. We might pour out all the love we possibly can, but if we're not loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves, we're going to be really hard to deal with. And we can't expect someone else to love us if we're not loving ourselves. I love the fact that the song Perfect is on. It's very fitting. Right? We gotta take care of ourselves, otherwise we can't take care of other people. Yeah? Well, guys, my hour is up. If y'all need anything else, anyone want to say anything else? Add anything to what I've said? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Heck yeah, look at that 30K. Absolutely, Angela. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone love yourselves. Right? Take care of yourself. Speak kindly to yourself. And what I mean by if we don't love ourselves, other people are going to have a hard time loving ourselves. What I mean by that is our own insecurities will eventually come outward. And have you ever seen someone take their own insecurities and push them off onto their significant other or someone that they love? If you're not secure with yourself, your own insecurities will eventually boil out into other people. On how you treat other people, right? Our own trauma, the way we deal with things can also spill out into how we treat other people. If you're not treating yourself kindly, eventually it's going to spill out into how you treat, whether you're in healthcare, how you treat your patients, a mother, how you treat your children. It's going to eventually come out. Thank you. Body dysmorphia. I've struggled with that my entire life. Body dysmorphia. And I have to remind myself that if I wouldn't go tell one of my friends or just someone on the passing by the same thing that I'm telling myself about my own body, why would I ever tell myself? Now, going to the gym does help that, but it doesn't fix things because I've lost 160 pounds over the past 5 years, 6, 7 years. Losing that weight didn't fix my self-love for myself. I spent so many days in the gym and really strict dieting to lose 160 pounds. And I still speak to myself the same way I spoke to myself 160 pounds ago. What? It won't fix things. We have to heal ourselves. Your goals will always change. Yes. And there's nothing wrong with having goals by any means. Ever. Sorry, that was loud. Didn't realize that was over the mic. My bad. Christian, you got that song stuck in my head now. Are you still here, Christian? Yeah, you got that song stuck in my head. That's great. That's funny. That's so funny. Yeah, right? You going live next?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out here with Matt for a little bit.
Playing on loop. That's great. Alright, you guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out and listening to me ramble and adding to it. I really, really hope that these chats are helpful to at least one person. That's all that matters to me. If it's more than one, dude, I'm over thrilled. I love y'all's face. Thanks for hanging out. Jeremy's gonna go live here in a little bit. I will see y'all Wednesday for midweek mental check-ins. Again, if you want to send me an email with some topics that you want us to cover or want me to cover, or anything really, message me so I can send you it. Love you guys. Have a great night. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it.